Daily Solutions Podcast. All right, welcome everybody. So today's question comes in from one of our listeners, and it is a very specific one, actually, which is our clientele used to be more relaxation/meditation oriented. Now more people come for pain relief and other health reasons. Is this a new trend?
Interesting.
I
don't really know, but
it's not something that we've heard as far as an overwhelming trend coming in from either our own center or other people's centers.
Yeah, I mean, I can make some wild guesses, which is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear your
great.
have guesses.
Okay, well, yeah, here we go. So one thing I noticed is that the pain relief sort of clientele that we have insanely great experiences.
Yeah.
Right? Like some of our best and most of our like stories of people having these incredible kind of life-changing experiences in the float tank focus on pain relief. So I can see that having a big impact, just in natural word of mouth, right? Like as you have people coming in for pain relief, like they're probably going to be some of the most adamant people going out and telling other people about it. So that kind of being a message that gets spread easily makes sense to me.
Yeah, for sure. And it very much is the I guess just level of the effects that the float tank has directly relate to how many more people get told about it from that person, how many more people are coming in from word of mouth with similar ailments as well. So fibromyalgia is a good example, which we ran a fibromyalgia program. We were part of that at our float tank center. And, we didn't do a ton of outreach to the fibro community. We kind of sent a couple initial emails out, and I have no idea how much they got pushed from there. And we saw a few clients coming in. And over the course of the next few months, it really trickled up to the point where we had a fair amount of people with fibro who had found out about it and were coming in to float and telling other people who had the condition. And it does, when you have these communities, especially of acute disorders that don't have a lot of outs for treatments, I think that it does really naturally spread within them. And when someone actually connects with the therapy that helps them, the idea of sharing that with these other people who are suffering is really appealing.
I mean, what I hear from people with chronic pain all the time is that they're willing to try anything. It's like when you're in that kind of persistent pain, it's like you forget about the like, oh, that sounds weird or whatever. You're just like, no, I don't care. Like, I'll try it. Like if I can find something that works, I'll definitely go in and try it.
Yeah, and there's an analogy in the business world, especially in the investment sector of things, where investors want to know if you're building a vitamin or a painkiller, right? And that's kind of like the two categories that you're putting those into. It's like the relaxation meditation category is the vitamin. You need to do maintenance every day. It's really good for you to meditate. It's excellent to be able to spend time in a float tank and go in and kind of relax and unwind, shove off a lot of the day's stress. But that compared to I've been in pain every single day for the last 3 months and I floated and now I'm not in pain. I mean, that's the painkiller side, this acute fix to something that was going horribly wrong prior. And in the investment world, that's also what you want, is you want the painkillers, not the vitamins, is what people say, because it's hard to convince people to do habits that are good for them, but people will do anything to get rid of their pain when it's happening. So I also wouldn't be surprised if the boost and switch over from that meditation crowd over to the kind of health and pain management crowd is just that, the effects being so much more acute and needed. The same people are probably coming in more often too. Like, it is hard to build a practice of something that's not essential.
Yeah. And inversely, it might just be that the kind of meditation crowd is possibly some of the first people to find out about a float tank center, right? Like, they're already kind of clued into that world. It's on their radar. Those people probably have heard about float tanks before. So when a place opens in town, they're probably going to be some of the first customers to come try it out. And it might be just that, you're noticing that first wave of people happens to be someone who are the most likely people to be like, oh, nice, a float center's open. I'm going to go check that out now.
It is true, and I hear it less so for float centers that are just starting up. But when we were getting started, and for a couple years afterwards, we had the exact same thing with the Roganite crowd.
Yeah.
People who listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. We're almost always the early adopters, right? Like, half of your clientele when you first opened up a float tank center 5 years ago are all people who just heard about it through Joe Rogan. And then slowly that kind of transitions into a much broader general public as you have some more awareness and stability in your community. So,
yeah, interesting question though. I mean, it's one of those things that as the industry gets bigger, we'll have kind of more data on and be able to answer these in more sophisticated ways. But until then, you can just hear us say whatever we think based off of nothing.
Based on fact, not based on fact. It's kind of a flip of a coin
It's all
depending on
coming
the
out.
day.
It's all coming out.
And the short answer to your question is no. We personally haven't noticed any trends.
Yep, definitely not.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, if you guys have other questions that you want to ask us, you can go to floatanksolutions.com/podcast.
Woo!
Yeah. All right, we'll talk to you later.